The Culture Currency show is for those who recognize that nuance is key. We don't pretend to have all the answers, but we tackle the issues that affect the majority when speaking of Black America. Our discussions are informed by the host's personal experiences and insights, and we're always open to evolving our perspective as we gain new understanding. This is the story of two friends from the Bronx who decided to get real, be direct, and impact Black culture.
Welcome to Culture Currency, where culture is the value.
I'm Mahogany,
I'm Ish,
and this is Culture Currency,
where culture
is the value. Grand Rising.
Good morning, how you doing?
I'm great.
Good, I'm good.
So today's topic, co-parenting.
Deep topic.
I want to start it off with the convo that I'm hearing a lot on social media in regard to sometimes men say like, yo, I don't want kids. Right? So when the kid gets here, I don't have that responsibility because I told you from gate. Will you stand on that?
I stand on it. If you don't want something, then you behave in the manner that you don't want something. You know what I'm saying? So that means you have to have protected sex. Even if it's not what you want at the moment, the decision that you're making can possibly be a lifetime decision. Mm-hmm. So now once you allow your secretions to leave your body and go into another body, you're losing some of the control. You're using all of the control, really, and you're losing your choice at that moment. Mm-hmm. So if that's not what you want, then that's how you have to behave, and that's just period.
I'm exactly where you are with that. Yeah. Being someone who had children early, I understood the difference between obligation and choice. Right. Once I behaved in a way that created life. Yep. Is an obligation that's there.
That's it.
I wanted to start there because all of these things lead up to where we're going in the discussion when it comes down to co-parenting. Both parties have an idea of how they want their lives to go. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it just doesn't go that way, or they make choices that decide opposite.
So what you say you want.
Exactly.
Yeah. Or you like, all right, well, I'm out. That's a choice too.
This action can create a reaction.
Right.
Once this action takes place, we don't have control of what that reaction is going to be.
Right.
And that's not just in children.
Right.
That's in sexual transmitted diseases. There's all these different things that come by way of this action.
These are life decisions that you got to make in the moment.
There's all these feelings happening in the moment.
Yeah.
We all know the feelings, right? And they strong.
Yeah.
And they real.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How real are they though?
Yeah.
When it comes down to the facts of it, it's like, okay, we can do this because I feel these things.
But what's the consequences? Because sometimes it's the woman that may not want the child, but still participated in unprotected sex or no birth control and different things of that nature. It's the same thing like in dating, where we wait until we're engaged and basically planning a wedding to have serious discussions about things. Those real discussions have to happen during the dating phase so you can really figure out who you're with and make sure that you guys are on the same page. The hard work needs to happen at the beginning, not after y'all walk down the aisle. Like, there's certain conversations that people stray away from because it's too serious at the beginning. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, you don't want to mess up the mood, but it's just a decision that needs to be made unless you know that y'all on the same page.
One of the biggest decisions of your life.
It's one of the biggest decisions of your life. It's one of the biggest decisions of your life.
Now that there's people out there who we're past that. Like, we can't do nothing about it now.
Period, yeah.
The child is here.
Right.
What now?
That's the thing, right? So, I've been a step parent. I'm a sister of 8 brothers, and I've been a child, right? With parents that have to co-parent. And one of the most important things that parents have to do is be eye to eye. Because everything, to one parent, this is so serious. And that parent, it's not a big deal. It's a tug of war. And then what I've noticed in my own studies is that it develops behaviors in young people that you really like. The kids become dishonest. They become very sneaky.
They don't know who to align with, right? Because if one's saying the opposite of the other,
right,
I need to be good with both of them.
Exactly.
So however I got to do that, I'm going to do.
I'm going to do that. And they learn manipulation really early, but in a way that's going to hurt their development.
So children come into the world cleverly manipulative, but learn how to be negatively manipulative as they're engaging and getting information from the world.
And when there's a disconnection from the parents who's teaching them how to be. And then with that, a lot of times parents start downing each other and to the child. That's the worst thing, because how would you feel somebody talking about your mother? You understand what I'm saying? How would you feel somebody talking about your dad?
So what we need to understand is that children are humans. They're people. Right?
Yep. Whole entire people.
Just because they're smaller and younger doesn't change the fact that they're whole people.
That's right.
And their whole person comes by way of two beings.
Right.
And because they come by way of these two beings, they love themselves by way of everything that comes from these two beings. Meaning they love both beings.
That's right.
The parts of them that they identify themselves in.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So it is very important that we acknowledge that when we're dealing with our children.
That's right.
Because the moment that you start taking away from one of the parents, you're taking away from them.
Piece of the child.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Or half of the child.
My father was in my life, but he wasn't in the house. My mother never talked reckless about him, ever. She's never said a negative thing about him. I learned negative things about him via interactions or, experiencing. Just the same way as I learned positive things about him through the same ways. I wanted my parents together, and I never understood for the life of me why my mother was dead set, like, no. My father was constantly in my ear, your mother's the love of my life. She's the only woman I've ever loved. So I used to try to be matchmaker.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, I never knew what happened between them. I just knew that he loved her and she was like emphatically no.
Right. Kids do not know.
We don't know. We don't know a lot, right? Anything that was said about my mother via him was through love. And anything that was said about him from my mother just wasn't attached to anything negative.
Got it.
Right?
Yep.
So I was able to grow up and get to know them myself.
Right. Good.
And I think that is the experience that every child should get.
Exactly. And I would say that that's my same experience. My mother never shared anything negative about my father, even through his incarceration and all of that kind of stuff. She even took us to see him. And even though they weren't together and whatever she went through personally with him, she never put that on us, So it was my stepmother and my dad, and then it was over here with mommy. You know what I mean? So that's just what that was. One thing that we were both blessed with is not having the image of either our parents tainted by the other one. And a lot of folks, they think they're gaining leverage or becoming the favorite parent by doing that. But like you just said it so beautifully, you're actually dismissing and downgrading a whole half of your child by talking about this person that made them.
There's a funny place to be in when the other parent is just really, really, really toxic, really not showing up, really letting the team down.
Yes.
Do you believe in lying to the child?
No.
What is your belief system around that? Because even if you're telling the truth, people will say that is talking down about the parent.
So my belief and through experience has been allow the child to see for themselves and then help your child work through the feelings that they're having. In a healthy way, but not like, because I don't know, why would he do that to you and stuff like that. It's just, you're going to be okay, baby. And when he calls, we'll talk, whatever. Honor the child's feelings and allow them to experience whatever they're going to experience, that you can't protect them from. That's what it is. Allow them to express themselves and help them work through their feelings. But you don't have to hop on that bandwagon and add insult to injury.
Absolutely. So I don't believe in lying, but I do believe in omitting when the outcome of telling the truth isn't conducive to a healthy outcome, right?
Yeah.
So what I experienced was that omitting opens grounds for the child to come to their own conclusions, right? Without all the information. And often as humans, we don't want to be denied. We don't want to be not chosen.
Yeah.
And so we create the story that makes us feel better.
Right.
And so although not giving the negative version of this person, I had to deal with a child that created a negative outlook on myself, even though I was the one there.
Yeah. Because you beat up on who's loving you. Yeah.
Doing the work,
Right.
showing up, choosing her.
Right.
I had to deal with all of that.
Yup.
And I don't think that people really understand that is a part of the parenting. Is like that's a part of the selflessness. Is like, I have to take the war that comes with this, that the other person ran from. I have to take the war of it. And I have to be okay doing it. Right? And still be healthy enough to show up for this child. Right? So,
and try to help them understand what they're feeling.
Help them understand, be there, hold them when they're feeling all of the feelings, right? Without still holding up the image of this person.
I don't know about holding up the image though.
You omitting is holding up the image. You not giving them all the information is holding up the image. Because the moment you tell the truth, you're downplaying the other person. And it's not really downplaying if it's the truth.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's this very funny space that you're in as a parent when it's a true statement, but the true statement is raw and nasty. Right?
Like dealing with my niece, and I had to have a conversation with her, and I'm like, you know, your father loves you. He's just going through something right now. But when y'all talk, you tell him how you feel. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I can really say. You know what I'm saying? Not this is, well, I don't like him either. And you know what I'm saying? No, I ain't talking to him either. Whatever. It's like I couldn't get into all of that. But just, you know, honoring her, feeling like I'm here for you. You know, you call me, you call your papa, and we love you, and you got your mom, your sisters, you know, all of that kind of stuff. It's just a tough situation to be in.
Listen, me protecting him unintentionally by way of protecting her created her outlook on our scenario. And one day in conflict, she decided she wants to live with her dad, the person who never showed up. Right?
Yeah, that's a common one.
So I'm at my wit's end at this point.
Right.
I done been through everything under the sun. So this is the moment she gets real reality.
Right.
And so I dropped her off to him. I left her there for probably a month and a half. In that month and a half, I sent her there with the clothes she had on her back. The point of it was not to hurt her, but she needed a full understanding of what it was she was dealing with, right? She needed to see, you have these shoes, these clothes, these undies because of me. You eat regularly because of me. This roof over your head is because of me. This person, you go to these events and you do all of these things. You are part of these things. And the person that is by your side, running with you during track, screaming your name when you in a show and you performing, that's me. You want to go live with the opposite of that, you're going to experience the opposite of that. So I sent her there with just the clothes she had on her back.
Because you had enough.
And I dropped her off. And no lie, I cried every day. I couldn't sleep for a whole month and a half. I didn't get a blink of rest. No bull. Like, if I got a rest, it was like an hour a night. I'm tossing and turning. I'm crying every single night because I know she's not being careful. I know this. I know this. But this is necessary for her development. When I got the call to pick her up, everything that I sent her with, that was it. She came home crying to me. He don't love me. He don't like me. He ain't spent time with me the whole time I was there. I was with his girlfriend. And she seemed to find a new level of appreciation for me. Right? Because now she's there and she's seeing for herself. There is no restriction because I never restricted. No matter what I felt about this human.
You can see your dad when you want to.
I didn't do that. I had a father.
Yeah, exactly.
I had a father. I know what that means.
Exactly.
I didn't do it. So when she was able to see, like, yo, there was never no restriction.
Right.
I didn't chase him.
Right.
I wasn't gonna do that.
Right.
I had to be here and be present for the kid.
Right.
So chasing wasn't an option.
Right.
Phone call here and there to say she's going through this.
Right.
This is she needs you.
Right.
I would do that, and if he didn't show up,
he didn't show up. But he had the information.
You had the information.
Right.
Right. Mm-hmm. So for a little while, it seemed like that helped her. Mm-hmm. But in the long run, I realized that it hurt her more, and she hasn't come back from that. And she's a whole adult.
But you couldn't shield her from that.
But I couldn't shield her from that.
Nah, you couldn't shield her from that, because that is the reality. So, but really, and that's on him, and him not showing up and him not understanding the impact, not giving it. I don't know, not honoring the impact that he has on her life. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't save your child from everything, unfortunately. And one thing you said, it made me think about, for example, the role of step-parents, being a step-parent and the whole co-parenting thing, right? And playing a part in that, and with step-parents understanding their lane. I think step-parents sometimes be bugging. You're not a replacement. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never saw myself as the replacement of the mother or replacement of the father. I'm an add-on.
Yeah. So
you understand what I'm
an
saying?
Addition. It's always an addition.
Right. I'm not a dismissed factor, but I also know my lane.
Mm-hmm. My mother, one thing about the guys that she chose, they were stand-up men to children. Mm-hmm. So my father was my father, but I have older siblings.
Got it.
As far as he is concerned, we all his kids.
Exactly.
And he
my
dealt
dad was
with
like that
everybody too. Like that. So my brothers and sisters never felt like their father wasn't there.
Right.
They had, and my father wasn't in the house.
Right.
But he was about all of us.
Exactly.
Right? Mm-hmm. When my mother got with my little sister's father, my father called my little sister his daughter, made sure to dap up her pops when he seen them. They had nice rapport.
Exactly.
It was always a we thing.
Right.
Community.
Exactly.
Like if you love them,
right,
and I love them,
right,
then then we family.
I'm wondering, is that an 80s thing? Because I don't see that a lot now. I see a lot of sucker stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? The stepfathers don't want to meet the father, and the mother's allowing that, and it's a lot of corny stuff going on.
Well, I mean, every generation loses potency.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So the younger, the weaker.
Yeah, right.
And that goes for us in comparison to our parents and their parents and so on. So we live in a system where we're constantly being readjusted. So our belief systems are being readjusted. So our principles are also being taken away. And so when you lack principle, there's level of self-esteem that you lack. Principles are directly connected to your self-esteem, right? So you're watching a lot of sucker stuff because a lot of people are lower in self-esteem. So they're reacting by way of
they're not sure of themselves and all of that.
So they're reacting by way of that. So you're watching them be unsure and feeling a way about everything and touchy about everything and competing with others. Like competition is within, is never outward.
Exactly.
So you're always, anytime somebody is lacking, they overcompensate. And that's what we're
try to overcompensate.
That's what we're seeing.
Yeah. Me being around as a step parent has been very difficult, especially for a lot of men. But me just being in youth development and loving children, coming from a big family, I've never tried to overstep my boundaries in anything. I'm present. I'm gonna do it. I remember one time, I had to have a conversation with my stepdaughter, and because I thought something was unfair. But me and her mom get along really well, and she's always encouraged her daughter, like when she needs to say something, she'll support her, but encourage her to come talk to me directly about how she feels, and encourage me to have those kind of conversations with her as well, because she trusts me. It was like a discipline thing. I had to say something to her, and I think she said something to her dad. So her dad was like, I don't want her saying nothing to my daughter and all of that kind of stuff. And my mother was like, what? Like, she helps to raise her, and actually she takes care of her when you don't. So what are you talking about? So I had a conversation with the daughter, and I said, what you asking for, I want to know if you think it's fair. I said, so I can do things for you, take you places, buy you things. But when it comes to tell you something, whether you're doing something right or wrong, and telling you that you can't do something, you're saying, I can't say anything to you. I can just do things for you. Do you think that's okay? Do you think that's fair? She said, no, it's not. I said, okay, so you do understand that I'm not your mother, I'm not your father, but I am your, your bonus parent. And I care for you, I love you, and I'm not going to tell you anything wrong. And if I was, your mother wouldn't have me around you. So the same way I can do things for you, I am going to correct you when you're wrong. And she was like, all right. And then that's been that. Right. And then and she respects anything I have to say to her. I have a different approach than both our parents. We have our own relationship, but it's like those things have to be said. But the father was trying to make it a thing.
I had a situation, while I was with the person that I was going to marry. She also had children, and I was spending majority of the time with them, right? Dad was not there, but like kind of there.
Yeah.
They didn't have a great co-parenting situation amongst them, so I came into a messy situation anyway, right?
Headaches. Yeah.
So it was absolutely a headache. I found myself in a situation where we really had a very great rapport, right? But I also was put in a position of kind of the disciplinary, not in a way of physical, but I was the one setting the standard, right? So it's like, mom wants these things done, I'm in the house enforcing, right?
Okay, I got to talk to you about that. Yeah.
So I'm enforcing, and we're cool, but to some degree, what happens when you the enforcer, although there are people who push back on the enforcing, young people want discipline.
Yes.
So they find themselves growing closer to you.
Right.
And the closer they grew to me, the more she began to turn on me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm like, I'm here.
That's how it goes.
Supporting the unit. And I couldn't understand it for the life of me, because now you're upset with me about
the closeness,
upholding things that you asked me to uphold.
So what I learned from that, because I had to deal with that as well. So before I realized, like, oh shit, my closeness to the child is causing a problem with the mother, with the parent. So what I do now is I'll empower the parent. And if I have to back up something, I'll back it up. But I'm not gonna, because I know that my approach is gonna be favored by the child. So now I empower the parent with the approach. Learn these skills, do this and do that. It's important that you have this kind of thing with your child. I'm gonna have it naturally. We don't have the same skills. Babe, you should say this, you should say that.
I can't compete with you. You're their parent.
Yeah,
you're absolutely their parent.
Yeah.
And regardless of how they feel about your ins and outs, you're their parent for a lifetime. Yeah. There's no competition here.
Yeah. You feel territorial. You know what I'm saying? You start feeling
and
territorial.
I understand that. I understand the territorial thing. I'm a tourist.
Right.
I understand territorial.
Right. Yeah.
I just never understood.
It's like, that's not what I'm doing.
Like, I really have a real understanding of what teamwork is. So I'm really always thinking of us. Right. Always.
Right.
And then I always find myself like,
because that's the intention, but the impact is now the kids going through their phases, they loving you more.
It wasn't even showing up like that though. I didn't get it. I was very confused. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not dating nobody with
kids no more. Yeah. I was heartbroken. Oh my God, I was heartbroken with.
Heartbroken? Yeah, I was fucked up for years.
The child was used as a pawn after the breakup, and I thought that I helped raise her, and then we're going to keep this relationship. Mother wasn't trying to hear it, and it's like, damn, like, I was really there. That was my baby, so I had to deal with that.
Yep. That's exactly what I had to deal with. I had to deal with a full disconnect. When I left, all the kids bawling together, nah. Yeah. So I'm letting them know, don't worry. Y'all old enough, we could keep in touch. But she made sure that was not a thing.
I don't know if I'll ever be hurt like I was again. It's like first love type stuff.
Once you experience that, you got bumpers on.
Yeah, I got bumpers on now.
I definitely have bumpers on now. To go through that again.
Yeah.
In a healthy manner,
healthy manner, because I'm still fully there and all of that kind of stuff. But I'm not oblivious to how life goes. That's all. I'm not oblivious to it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
A lot of people speak about, you know, how women react when they're not chosen by a man. In a relationship, and how they're sour and they start to act a certain way and do certain things. My daughter's father
Is that for you?
was exactly that. To have to experience your child being kidnapped
Oh, yes,
by way
wow.
of their father is crazy.
No, that's crazy.
For the purpose of, if you don't want to be with me, I'm gonna make you pay.
Yeah.
Is wild.
That's different. I know that with a child, where it's like the father's like, all right, well, I ain't gonna be with you. I ain't gonna be with the child either.
That
You know
was,
what I'm saying?
That was
Yeah.
number one.
Right.
Number two was like, oh, you gay? That hurts.
Right.
So guess what? I'm gonna do something to hurt you back. I was finally empowered enough to state my truth. That hurt him in the process. And because he got hurt in the process, he decided that he could hurt me, but he knew he couldn't hurt me through him.
Yeah.
Because that connection wasn't that.
Yeah. He found the weak point.
He found my vulnerability, and
That's
that was
right.
my daughter.
That's right. And that's how it goes. It's like, it's so crazy, man. Because when I left my ex, and I had to leave. The relationship was over. I still wanted the relationship with the baby, and it's like the only way to hurt me again to me is keep her away from me. You know what I'm saying? But kidnapping, though, we talking about something different here.
Yeah, I was wild.
Kidnapping is crazy. Take the child, can't get to your child, disappear is
disconnect
wow.
your phone.
Yeah, that's
like,
that's
home,
different.
Come home, and it's a thing where we're still cohabitating.
Right.
So to come home from the studio,
Right.
at 5 a.m. Now, you know, 5 a.m. at the time, I think it was summertime.
It's up. The sun is up.
The sun is up. So I come in the crib, and the lights is on in the house, which is like, why? Would the lights be on?
Right. Because it
5
was
in the
on all
morning.
night.
Because they was on all night. Go in the room, everything gone. I go in the closet, my kids' clothes is gone, everything gone. I get on the phone, phone's disconnected. Could you imagine?
No.
The things that tried to bring me to murder during my lifetime is wild.
No.
The many things that tried to bring me to murder was wild.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. But that's a that's a serious example of what happens when relationships break. But it's kind of like, okay, so what do you do when the relationship changes but you still must co-parent? And one of the things I wrote down was, you know, have the discussion is like, you know, what does our new relationship look like? But even that is a burn. Imagine you want to be with somebody and they being all mature and calm, talking about, so what does our new relationship look like? It's like, what?
So a part of being a parent is understanding that you are not number one anymore.
Right.
And within the confines of your parenting, right? You're not number one, you're number two. When it comes down to making decisions, your child is the main focus.
Yep.
And so I'm not saying it lightly as if it's an easy thing, but I'm saying regardless of easy or hard, the choice to put your child first is the choice.
Right. However, people have a hard time when they're not a number at all. Right? Whereas like they was two points, because I wrote down not number one anymore. My main point is that a lot of times the child wasn't the main. Sometimes the child was a trap plan. You know what I'm saying? Where, you know what I'm saying, I want to get you pregnant so you can stay, or I'm going to get pregnant so you can stay. And then you didn't stay. Now this is the pawn and all that. In many cases, the child was never first. The child was part of the plan to keep the relationship going. Not that you don't love your child, but the child wasn't like, oh, I want this. I was like, I want you. So in order to have you, we need this. We need this piece here. So when it's over, now you got to use that child to manipulate everything in a situation
to get the outcome that you
desire from the beginning. So the whole you're not number one anymore. So some people can't wrap their head around that. So now they must be disruptors. You know what I'm saying? And make the other person's life miserable as possible because you messed up their plan.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. So what would you say, what do you do as a parent who's trying to co-parent with someone who's in that space? Who's like, yo, I can't see the the child coming first, because that's not what I signed up for.
I would say one of the things that is really important and is easier said than done is like you have to be able to financially sustain yourself, because they know a lot of those situations, people try to kidnap you financially, where I'm not helping, not coming through on certain things, anything to make your life difficult. Emotional manipulation, financial manipulation is kind of like, all right, now you got to stand on your own, you got to do what you got to do and just be the best parent and human you could be for that child. And that's the focus, not the mess of this other person. As much as you would love to be cool, with the co-parent, when y'all can have discussions and talk about stuff, it's like for a long time, you probably cannot. You just got to communicate the information about the child. This show is happening, graduation is happening, she needs this, he needs this. You don't do it, you don't do it. You move on and do what you got to do. You know what I mean? Because it's like you can't stress yourself out over somebody else's mess. And sometimes the person is not healthy for the kid. You know what I mean? So you don't even want them around the kid too much. It's like you need your other parent, but they're so messed up that you can't be with them too long.
That was one of the things that I struggled with my oldest. It was kind of like good that you not showing up.
Right.
Because I don't know what she's going to become with you in her world.
Right.
You don't know how the information is translating to the child.
Yeah, and what it's doing and how it's
and how it's going, what I mean? How it's going to manifest itself. So it's a really hard conversation. I think it's something that we actually should bring up, because I don't have a lot of answers here. This is more of a discussion.
I was wondering if this is a studio audience situation, because so many people could how do we talk about
therapy. This is therapy or relationship expert thing.
This is Love Snobs?
I think we're not going to focus on this, but I definitely want this to be one of the questions we bring up when we bring the Love Snobs on.
Okay, I'm going to write that down. We need to add on to this conversation.
Yeah, for sure. I would like to leave it with what we do know, right?
Okay.
What we do know is that in order for two parents to parent successfully, they have to be a united front, which we brought up.
That's right.
There needs to be boundaries that are discussed and agreed upon, so that everybody knows their part and what their part is not.
Yeah.
And agree to what it is that, those things are.
Right.
And communication.
Right.
Communication is the foundation of the entirety, right? Because what we do know is that if y'all are not together already, y'all not together for a reason.
Right.
Right? If y'all have to co-parent, y'all co-parenting for a reason. And when two people are not living in the same existence, as a constant, there's a lot of information that the other doesn't have.
Right.
Communication must be in attendance.
Because you're not around each other all the time.
Yeah. Communication must be in attendance in order for your wires not to get crossed often and to relieve some conflict.
Yep. And then also I just wrote down that you don't know what you don't know, right? So raising your child in separate homes, as things come up, and you notice it's like a certain messaging and stuff like that you have to give to the child, that if possible, y'all have those conversations so that y'all can be giving the child the same messaging. You know what I'm saying? So things come up developmentally, and then y'all say, so the child is not, like we said, developing into two different people in one body, And then, like you said earlier, it's very important to put the child's interest first. So that means when you're feeling hot and you're feeling upset and stuff like that, take some time to calm so you can put the child's interest first.
Absolutely.
And communicate your plans with each other.
In communication, ask questions.
Right.
Don't make assumptions. Y'all don't live together.
Right.
Even if the child is telling you something, the child tells you something, the way that you are a united front is by you two discussing what was heard.
Right.
So that you can get on the same page. As we said earlier, children can be manipulative.
Yeah.
And when they know that there is a divide,
that's right,
they will use that to their advantage.
That's right.
And so you two have to be on one accord. And the only way to do that is not by assuming that something you heard is what it is, but to ask the question so y'all can get on the same page and then discuss whatever that is. Right.
And then also cut out the need to compete. Like if you're not competing in sports and all that kind of stuff, it looks corny. It looks bad. And it's just all you're doing is hurting the child. Nobody's winning.
It is bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
No, bad.
Yeah, don't.
It's nasty.
Yeah, the only person that's being hurt in this competition is the child, because they're getting it from both sides, and they can't even protect
Nobody's
themselves
winning.
from it. Nobody's winning.
What Jay
Nobody
said?
wins when the family feuds.
There you go. There you go. And we
That's
can,
right.
we can leave it with that.
Yeah, we can leave it with that.
I'm Mahogany,
I'm Ish.
and this is Culture Currency.
But culture,
Is the value.
make sure to like, comment,
Subscribe, and share.
peace. Good job.